Ah. Immediately begin dying. Lovely. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Satisfactory. I am Rest of Toasty. Now, first thing you're gonna notice immediately is that, the whole factory is running. It's all going, and there's a lot of radiation. There's a good old reason for that. We have plutonium. It's done. It's running. Now, I need to explain. So, what was intended to be this episode was me putting in a whole bunch of roads, a whole bunch of trucks, a whole bunch of trains, and finishing up any last little bits that needed to be done in order to make the factory good. And I did that, kind of. Like, it's not the best, but it's better than nothing. It functions, at least. There were several things that I just completely missed, like belts, pipes, stuff like that. We're not going to talk about that right now. It's not important. What is important is the factory's running, we've got water, we've got everything going, and it took, let's say, I'm pretty sure I finished building it sometime in March, and I started in January. In fact, I was actually, and this would have been a funny bit in the actual video, I was actually watching MatPat's retirement video while I was recording and building everything, specifically some of the trains for coal, and that was probably a week before I actually finished it. And you can see, of course, nothing is really working. They're all having panic attacks and attacking each other as well. So, hooray. The trucks didn't work. The trucks were like almost just the worst idea, I think. Which, to be fair, the trucks did take a really, really long time. I didn't expect that to make these trucks work, I would actually have to use the whole planet, or the whole island. Like, for some reason, it didn't click in my head that to make all these trucks function, I would need to put roads across the entire map. But I did have to do that. We have this road here, we've got one that goes this way, and out there, we've got one that goes down here and around and like meets up. There's like a little loop in this little area. And then it goes up in here somewhere, and it goes around there somewhere, and like down here and stuff like that. You know, let's do a quick tour of this whole setup while I explain the whole video situation. So, story time. When I opened the video editor that I use and put in all of the footage, I had a quick scare because the number I got back was 70 hours. There were 70 hours of footage to edit. And to be fair, I got through most of them. I didn't like start a little bit and then give up. Oh, great. Of course it would. I didn't start a little bit and then give up. I did legitimately make an effort. And I got most of the way there. I got until, I think, 6 or 7 hours of footage left before I was finished. And at that point, the video itself was 2.5 hours long. Entirely uncertain of how I managed that, honestly. More, it's happening again. I don't care. Whatever. Technically, I'm recording this bit after the rest of this video here. So, some of that is not gonna make sense. But, yeah. It, I guess, adds credibility to the end of this video, so we'll take it. Great. What are you stuck for? Hold on. Actually, if I park here, you're gonna kill me, so I'm not gonna do that. There you go. Okay, that makes sense. I may have just fixed the issue. So as I was saying, as I was recording this video, I got to the part of it where I had turned on the factory, all of the trucks, I was putting in all the trucks, all the trains were running already, and I was trying to put in all the trucks and make everything work. As I was recording, I actually ran out of storage space in my computer, so my recording software kind of fell apart. And I don't mean this as in it just stopped recording and said, hey, we can't record anymore. It did do that. But the other thing it did was it also kept recording, but all it did was record a still image of a game that I closed ages ago, and it just continued to pretend it was recording for 30 straight hours. Which doesn't make any sense because I'm 90% certain that I turned off my computer and it pretended to keep recording. I have no idea. I don't know, honestly. So, of the 70 hours of footage, it technically only should have been 45 because only 5 hours of that one 30-hour long little file should have been counted. And I did edit down those 5 hours, though it took a very long time, and then I cut out the remaining 20-something of that one file that was just so broken. So after that point, my editing software itself repeatedly crashed anytime I tried to do something, even like just cutting 2 sections of footage. It couldn't handle it. It just crashed, like all the time, constantly, and I don't know why, but it would do this all the time. Every single time I tried to do anything. I even left it one time. I left it after I had tried to do something and it stopped responding. I left it and took a shower to see if it would, work. And I have long hair, so it took me a while. I got back like 30-40 minutes later and it was still broken. So I have at this point just kind of given up. I went for a summer job that I had and now I'm back. And I've decided that I don't want to deal with that anymore. So a couple of days ago, I deleted all of the footage from that. I got rid of all the files in the editing software as well. So now I have an extra 500 gigabytes of storage. Somehow I took up 500 gigabytes, I don't know, but I used to have 50 to 100 gigabytes left on my drive, and now it's 550 gigabytes. So I don't know what happened exactly, but it was a lot. But I got it down to where it would have been like 2 or 3 hours long, but I just couldn't finish it because the software kept crashing. It wasn't working. So I do apologize, but you're not gonna get that video. You're not gonna get the video of me putting in all these roads, putting in all the trucks, all the trains, everything of that sort. It's not gonna happen. It can't happen, actually. I've now deleted all the footage. I don't think there's much else to say on the topic of the video and it not coming out. I mean, I do apologize for not uploading anything for half a year. I do believe it has been half a year since the last thing I uploaded, and the last video I uploaded was before that even. Some odd 250 days ago. I think it was 247, sometime in December. December last year is the last time I uploaded a video, like an actual video. So it's been 8 months since my last actual video. Oh well. There were some funny bits, honestly, but for the most part, I don't think I was entirely satisfied with how the video went. Like, obviously, it was kind of a mess. Is kind of a mess. The recording wasn't very well done. I was all over the place, confused, given it's a confusing project, and it didn't turn out fully completed. It turned out a half-completed mess of barely functional anything. So as much as it would have been nice to get the full video out, I wouldn't have been happy with it, which is not just an excuse for not putting it out. So pretty much all this video is a confirmation that it's complete, a confirmation that I'm alive. So as many of you may know, Satisfactory 1.0 will release in like a couple of weeks, a little over 2 weeks. And I just got back from a very, very long summer job, and I'm about to go on another week-long vacation. And then after vacation, I'm gonna record a video on a different game, which you'll hear about. Oh right, none of this is running, but I can actually start it running again. I forgot. Hold on. It's so laggy here, I kinda can't wait to start over, not gonna lie. Circuit break, I'm just gonna turn everything back on, because I can now. Hooray. So let's see what this looks like now. Oh, that barely moved at all. That is so funny. Okay, great. So this is functioning for the most part. You know what? Let me start over a little bit. 1.0 is releasing very soon, in a couple of weeks, a little more than a couple of weeks for me. So honestly, especially with the fact that this whole place is almost teetering right on the edge of functional, I think I'm just gonna leave it. Like, you're seeing this, right? This is not a video. This is not a video issue. This is the game. This game is lagging me out so hard right now, and presently there's nothing much I can do about it. I intended to get a new computer, but I don't have any money. I had already intended to start over with 1.0 rather than continuing the save. Mostly, mostly because the story probably would not make any sense if I did it from an end game standpoint. Plus, a lot of the world is changing, a lot of the recipes are changing, so most of my factories would be heavily affected by the change to begin with. So it'll be a lot easier and a lot simpler to start over. Plus, I've got a lot of ideas for how I want my next save to go. But realistically, I am also kind of just running away from this. It's more than I probably could have handled with the amount of time that I had, the amount of understanding that I had, and honestly, the patience that I have. I like to think I'm a very patient person, but not quite patient enough for this, it turns out. I don't know. This whole thing was a good time, and I might come back to check it out every now and then. Probably not, honestly, although I have done that with my first world, where everything was also kind of a mess. I've come back to check it out every now and then, look at how everything's going. What I do know is the next one's gonna be a lot different, but I hope y'all enjoy, and I hope y'all stick around to see it. Or come back to see it, I guess. You brungo. I don't even know what that means. I think here? Yeah, here we go. Here's one of the little train things for uranium. I put it all underground, because it's uranium. What nice timing. Here we are. I don't know if this one stops here, so I'm gonna try and grab it quick. It does stop here. This whole thing is underground, which is kind of fun. It's very interesting. Although it does come up for that mountain up there, which is very funny and kind of terrible. Why are there birds down here? Excuse me? Yeah, here's another station in the cave. I'm not going into a whole lot of detail here, just kind of the funny bits. Like, for instance, this bit up here. And then we go back down. A little fast. Another one. Up here in the Red Forest. Not far from the factory itself, as you can see. And then up here is the very strange intersection for getting into and out of the factory. We're gonna get off here. Yeah. It, sure is working? Question mark? We've done a lot here, starting out with these massive blue cubes. Don't entirely look any good. Humble beginnings, which I have upgraded a little bit. I subsisted for so long on this, what, 10,000 megawatts of coal power? I'm not entirely certain how I managed that, honestly. The aluminum thing, that one was fun. I liked that one. And honestly, I really enjoyed designing the nuclear factory as well. Building it was an experience, and getting everything running, probably one of my least favorite activities in this whole entire game. But look, you can see, they're going, mostly. they're mostly going. I don't know if it's gonna, like, speed up or something. Probably not. I think we're capping out at somewhere between, what's this? 230 and 257 gigawatts, I think. That's the one, right? Because it's megawatts and then you take 3 off, so it's gigawatts after that point. So this is 250 gigawatts roughly. Honestly, it was kind of fun. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. But I think it's time to move on because I have spent so long poring over every aspect of this factory and trying to make it look good, trying to make it work. I'm done. I don't need this anymore. It barely works, and you know, I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine as it is. I can't believe this. I cannot actually believe I did this crap. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you know, I'll catch you in the next one. It's gonna be a little watery. That didn't kill me! There goes my cinematic out. You know? It wasn't too bad, honestly. I don't think I really need to go into all the tiny details on this factory. That just seems like, you know, a little too much. We've got it working, kinda. Everything's, well, not everything. Most of it's running. I'm trying to figure out which angle is most cinematic for the thumbnail. Kinda like that one. I'll wait for when there's a train on that little bit there. Yeah, good screenshot. All right, I'm almost sad to see it go, but also not quite, because seeing it go means I get to see more frames per second. This factory is kind of a nightmare for lag. Although honestly, I think the worst section is probably the forested area between the blue boxes and the big old giant frame. Somehow this area isn't as laggy, and I'm not sure why. It might just be the foliage, honestly. Or maybe that area is, like, poorly optimized. I don't know. Anyway, we're starting over in 1.0 in a couple of weeks. Except that's probably not when you're gonna get the video. It might be sometime after that. I'm not sure. I'll probably start very similarly, but I have an entirely different plan for how I'm gonna do factories. In fact, this whole entire thing right in front of you, it's gonna look small. It's gonna look incredibly small in comparison, I promise you that. Well, I'll catch you later, I guess. Tune in a week or two for a very cold and very wet experience. That sounds a lot worse than I intended.